how Esau wants to set himself up above God and above the stars in the congregation of the north, right? I'm gonna get that too. So yeah, so he's trying to be like God. He thinks he's a God. Let's see. This is Isaiah 14 and verse 4. That thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon and say, how hath the oppressor ceased, the golden city ceased? The Lord hath broken the staff of the wicked and the scepter of the rulers. So there you go again. The Lord is going to do it. Yahweh Shai. He who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke. He that ruled the nations in anger is persecuted, and none hindereth. The whole earth is at rest, and is quiet. They break forth into singing. Yea, the fern trees rejoice at thee, and the cedars of Lebanon, saying, since thou art laid down, no feller is come up against us. So the whole earth, the birds, the animals, the trees, they're all going to rejoice when Esau is brought down. Hell from beneath is moved for thee to meet thee at thy coming. It stirreth up the dead for thee, even all the chief ones of the earth. It had raised up from their thrones all the kings of the nations. And they shall speak and say unto thee, art thou also become weak as we? Art thou become like unto us? Because Esau, so-called white man, pushes out this vibration that he's unbeatable. But when he's brought down, all the other nations like, you're just like one of us. You had your time to shine, and now you're destroyed. Thy pomp is brought down to the grave, and the noise of thy vows, and the noise of thy vials, which represents joy, and that's in Revelations chapter 18, 18 and 22. And the voice of harpers and musicians and of pipers and trumpeters shall be heard no more at all in thee, and no craftsman of whatsoever craft he be shall be found any more in thee, and the sound of a millstone shall be heard no more at all in thee, and the light of a candle shall shine no more at all in thee, and the voice of the bridegroom and of the bride shall be heard no more at all in thee. For thy merchants were the great men of the earth, for by thy sorceries were all nations deceived. Right, so that's America, and the Esau's rulership. So I'm gonna keep reading verse Isaiah 14 and 12. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer? And the word Lucifer means light bearer, right? The son of the how art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations? For thou hast said in thy heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of God. I will sit upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. I will ascend above the heights of the cloud. I will be like the Most High. So there you go again. It's like Antiochus Epiphanes. 2 Maccabees chapter 9, verse 9. So that the worms rose up out of the body of this wicked man. Right? Like we read just a while ago. In Isaiah 14:11, it says, thy pomp is brought down to the grave. Pomp is your being proud, arrogant. And the noise of thy vows. The worm is spread under thee, and the worms cover thee. And the word represents decomposition. It's going to eat away death. So it says, 2 Maccabees 9:9. So that the worms rose up out of the body of this wicked man, and whiles he lived in sorrow and pain, his flesh fell away, and the filthiness of his smell was noisome to all his army. He stunk. And the man that thought a little afore, he could reach to the stars of heaven. See? no man could endure to carry for his intolerable stink. Here therefore being plagued, he began to leave off his great pride, and to come to the knowledge of himself by the scourge of God, his pain increasing every moment. And when he himself could not abide his own smell, he said these words, It is meet to be subject unto Yahweh, and that a man that is mortal should not proudly think of himself as if he were God. You know, so that's what's going to happen to Esau. These are just examples. All the scriptures, all the things that happen in the past in the scriptures, it's for our learning. Let's see, this 2 Thessalonians. This is 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 3. Let no man deceive you by any means. Right? Because you got a lot of people coming with, they use the scriptures and they come with different false doctrines. Okay? We know who the devil is. Alright? The word devil comes from the Latin word diablos, which means deceiver. It's not a mythical creature that's all red and with a long tail and goat hooves as feet and horns sticking out of his head. That's mythical, you know. That's mythology that comes from the Romans and the Greeks, the Edomites. They come up with all that shit. But 2 Thessalonians 2 and 3. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition, who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called God, or that is worshipped, so that he, as God, sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God. And we know who that is today, who it was in the past and to this time, with Esau, Edomites. But they didn't always call themselves that. Through the process of time, they were given different names, you know. But we know who they are. Like today, they're calling themselves the Jews, the Jewish, the Israelis. They're the ones that sit in the temple of the Most High. Right? And this is Revelations. Revelations chapter 2, verse 9. I know thy works in tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich. And that's the Israelites, the elect, the rich, because we have faith and this knowledge. I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews and are not, but are the synagogue of Satan. See? That's what they are over there in Israel. These Edomites that are claiming that they're the real Jews. But for all this corruption that these Edomites have done, you know, rednecks, crackers, white people, Jews, the Jewish people, the Zionist group, the elite, Bilderberg, Rothschilds, Obama, all them, you know, the heathen. This is what's going to happen. Revelations 3 and 9. Behold, I will make them of the synagogue. Behold, I will make them of the synagogue of Satan, which say they are Jews and are not, but do lie. Behold, I will make them to come and worship thy feet, worship before thy feet, and to know that I have loved thee, which is slavery. Okay. But I'm going to jump back to 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 4. It says, who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called God, or that is worshipped, so that he, as God, sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God. Remember ye not that when I was yet with you, I told you these things, and now ye know that and now ye know what withholdeth, that he might be revealed in his time. For the mystery of iniquity doth already work. Only he who now letteth will let till he be taken out of the way. And if the scripture says, for the mystery of iniquity doth already work. Who was at work at that time? The Romans, which are Edomites. Okay. So, yeah, that's it on that. So, you know, I guess one other scripture in Isaiah 47. Isaiah 47:1 says, "Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Sit on the ground. There is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans. For thou shalt not no more be called tender and delicate." And that's what's happening. America's an old raggedy whore, you know. But yeah, verse 2, "Take the millstones and grind meal, uncover thy locks, and make bare the leg, uncover thy thigh, pass over the rivers. Thy nakedness shall be uncovered." And that's what's happening. Esau has been found out who he is. Okay, we know the Jews in Israel right now are fake. These so-called white people that claim that they're Jews, they've been found out who they really are. Thy nakedness shall be uncovered, yea, thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man. As for our Redeemer, the Lord of hosts is his name, the Holy One of Israel. Sit thou silent, and get thee into darkness, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called the Lady of Kingdoms. So the Lord is going to destroy you, Esau. I'm just going to read this one again. Obadiah chapter 1 verse 3. The pride of thy heart hath deceived thee. So your pride has deceived you, Esau. You know. This is Isaiah 47:7. "And thou saidst, I shall be a lady forever, so that thou did not lay these things to thy heart, neither didst remember the latter end of it. Therefore hear now this, thou that art given to pleasures, that dwellest carelessly, that sayest in thy heart, I am, and none else beside me. I shall not sit as a widow, neither shall I know the loss of children. But these two things shall come to thee in a moment, in one day, the loss of children and widowhood. They shall come upon thee in their perfection for the multitude of thy sorceries, and for the great abundance of thy enchantments. For thou hast trusted in thy wickedness. Thou hast said, none seeth me. Thy wisdom and thy knowledge, it hath perverted thee. And thou hast said in thy heart, I am, and none else besides me." So that's for that attitude, for your pride and arrogancy and your pomp, the Lord's going to throw you down. And that's what's coming to America. A throwdown. A showdown between good and evil. Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai and Esau and his ant army, you know, his little ant army. You know, Esau actually thinks he's gonna be able to withstand the Most High. You know, they call them the UFOs. You know, he's actually gonna try to fight against Yahweh Shai and the angels, which are the chariots of the Most High. They identify flying objects. We know what they are, Esau. They're not unidentified. They're identified flying objects. We know what they are. Okay. Amos chapter 9 and Amos chapter 9 says, "Behold, the eyes of the Lord upon the sinful kingdom," and this is a sinful kingdom, and those eyes are the chariots in the heavens. But I'm gonna end it with that. All praises and glory to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. May His will be done. Double honors to the elders, all the way up to Elder Tahar, Elder Aramlat, Elder Gabar, all the way down to the brothers in the Dallas camp, Mississippi camp, San Francisco camp, Seattle camp, the London camp, the camp that's in Trinidad, the camp that's in Virginia, the camp that's in New York, you know, everywhere, all the camps, all the brothers. All praises and glory and honor. You know, may the Most High be with all you brothers. Shalom.